Hey friends, welcome back to the sixth and final training in this cycle's round of goal setting. So this is the final piece in the Doc-PAL goal setting system. Essentially, we went through D for dreaming, O for organizing, C for clarifying our goals, P for making sure we get a plan in place of how and when are we going to take action. The last video was A for acting, understanding how can we act in a way where we're going to stay motivated and we're going to stay engaged and we're going to increase our likelihood of achieving our goals. L in the Doc-PAL system is for loyal. Something to be mindful of is that this version of being loyal to your goals is not like the version of being loyal to your goals in hustle culture. Hustle culture, the muscle your way through it, just get it done kind of approach, no matter what. We'll talk about loyalty in terms of you said you were going to do it, so just show up and do it. And it's really hard and it's really relentless. It's very unforgiving. People do see results with that kind of approach, but mentally, emotionally, physically even, it's really not a good way to live. And it's actually destructive after a long period of time. Sometimes for some people, it's destructive right out of the gate. So this is not the type of loyalty that we're talking about. Essentially, and this is on page 19 of your worksheet, and I'm just going to read this to you. Being loyal to your goals means you're treating your dreams and yourself seriously. No one will live your life for you. I can't do your push-ups for you, right? No one else can. You deserve to go for what you want in this life, and by recommitting to your goals day after day, you're demonstrating that you can trust yourself and that you are worth committing to. Now, trusting yourself means that you become the reliable person in your life. If you know you've got something to do, and this is the action you said you were going to take when we were moving through the plan stage, and you remember why you're doing it, this is the stuff that really starts to build a strong relationship with you. You become someone who you know, okay, when I say I want this, I really do want it. And that you matter in what you want. I set these goals and I am going to go after them because I deserve to move my life in the direction I want to move it toward. I'm not going to be someone to just sacrifice my goals because it's a little bit inconvenient or because other people don't understand it or because someone else has got something going on in their life. The way that I live, the way that I want to live, the version of me I want to be, all that stuff is worth it. It's worth me getting uncomfortable. It's worth me building new habits. It's worth me letting go of some things, some habits, some mentalities, etc. By us being loyal to our goals, it actually means that we're being loyal to ourselves and to what's possible for us. So we're going to go through 3 different pieces in this training to help you develop that sense of loyalty to both yourself and your dream. This first aspect of being loyal to yourself and your dreams and your goals is accountability. Now, this is not a word that is unfamiliar to you, I am sure of it. But what we're talking about, just like in the previous training, we're not just talking about choosing a reward just because we want to treat ourselves, which is delightful, by the way, but we're being strategic with how we're using these concepts and techniques to maximize our chances of success. So around accountability, this is where you want to share your goals, but be discerning with whom you share these goals and you share this information. Find someone who you admire. Not just any old person, someone who you admire, and tell them what you're working on. For the next 4 weeks, here's what I'm working toward. It's got to be someone that you admire. You don't need to go shouting to everyone and like blasting it online. You can if you want to, but there's no research to back up that being something that is really going to help you stay committed to the long term of doing this work and staying involved in your goals. So essentially, when we connect with someone who we have a level of admiration with, and we start that conversation around what you're working toward, and feel free to share why you're working toward that goal or those goals as well, if that helps deepen the conversation. There is so much research to show that you are going to be that much more driven and motivated to show up and take the steps that you planned out and act in a way as the person who is really taking their goals seriously. So find someone that you admire and share one or more of the goals that you're working toward this next 4-week cycle. The second way that we can help deepen our sense of loyalty to our dreams, to our goals, to ourselves is building a support system. We were never meant to do this alone. And by do this, I mean growing, living, experiencing life, continuing to move forward in whatever area of your life that you want to. I mean, everything that you're working toward, you don't have to do it isolated. You don't have to keep it secret from everyone. Now, the accountability piece, we're selecting a person who we admire to share, this is what I'm achieving or working on achieving. This is how I'm going to do it. This is the time frame I'm working within. This is why I'm doing it. And it's a one-time kind of like, I'm just sharing this with you. A support system is an ongoing community to help you stay and reconnect when we all get in slumps, everyone. We all lose motivation. So none of what I'm sharing here is like the foolproof. You will never get unmotivated ever again. Like, no, you're a human being. We go through ebbs and flows of being excited, of being energized. We go through those dips. And because those dips, those slumps, those times where we lose steam, or maybe we feel a little bit disheartened, or maybe we've gotten, news that something didn't turn out the way we wanted it to turn out, having a support system can be instrumental in helping us get back on track. Not having a support system, you're much more likely to abandon the goals, to push them off, to delay it to this time that doesn't actually exist, which is called later. Sometimes it's also called tomorrow. Sometimes it's also called someday, right? That's the stuff that doesn't actually exist. The only thing that actually exists is what we've created here and now and what we've created yesterday. So let's make sure that we're prepared for those dips that everyone experiences. And let's also acknowledge that our biology is community-based. We live as groups, a group species. So let's live forward as one, right? We're not just supposed to be social together. We're supposed to be living together. Living means growing. It means getting curious. It means learning. It means moving forward. So let's do it together. Now, you can create your own support system for sure. And I do encourage you to do that, but make sure you're very intentional with what that looks like. So this could be a support system where we share what we're working on this week and we're checking in, we're getting curious. What are you learning along the way? What do you want me to do when you feel like you're losing steam or you're feeling in a slump? Like, what can I help you with? What can I remind you of? So be very aware about how you are best supported. So it could be understanding, what do I get like? What are the thoughts that get really loud when I lose steam? What are the thoughts that get really loud when I start to lose faith that I can do this? What do I tend to do when I'm in those slumps? What do I tend to do when I'm on those highs as well? The more self-aware you are of how you are through this process, the better you can help the people who you're asking to be part of your support system so that they can support you effectively. Now, what we don't want to do is include people in our support system without them realizing it. Everyone has a full life. Everyone has got something going on in their life. And just because you want them in your support system doesn't mean that they have the bandwidth or ability to support you in the way that you would love them to support you, or that this is something that they have space that they would love to dedicate to you and your goals. Okay, we can't assume that people are just going to carve out a piece of their life and earmark that as, oh, this is me checking in on this person, or this is me asking about their goals. Because if they've got stuff going on, or if they're not going to be able to be part of like a regular ongoing conversation about this, it's not that they're a bad person or you shouldn't be friends with them or you should cut them out of your life. Nothing like that. It's just that maybe they're not the best fit for this role of being a person of support as related to your goals. So think about the roles that you would love people in your support system to be filling. So this could be a listener, this could be an idea generator, this could be a shoulder to cry on for when things get hard. This could be someone who's just really good at checking in, and you have that ongoing relationship with them. So think about, how would I love to be best supported? And think who in your world could best fill those roles. And then we ask them. We ask them if they want to or if they can, for the next 4 weeks, serve in that role in your life to support you. Okay, if they cannot, that's great that they have told you this now and not 3 weeks in and you're like, I never hear from this person. They're supposed to be part of my support system, but like, where are they? Be intentional with who's in your support system and what role they're playing. Okay. If you have questions about this, of course, this itself could be a whole like training. So if you have any questions about this, definitely reach out to me and we can help get clear around what that looks like and who that could be like for you. The third piece of developing that sense of loyalty to your dreams, to your goals, to yourself, this is because this is about the Grow and Get It Goal Getters Club. And it's my invitation for you to join totally for free. The reason that this exists is because, if we're honest, most people aren't setting goals. If they are setting goals, they're setting them in a way that they're either trying to force themselves to get to achieving their goal and hustle their way across the finish line, or they're setting goals in a much too unconsidered way, meaning they're not tapping into the very first part of this system, which is dreaming. They're setting goals from maybe logic or convenience, or this person or my organization, my employer expects me to do these things. And so I guess my goal is to go after that promotion or to lead this group at work. And the goals aren't ones that they feel particularly attached to. And they're just trying to, hustle across the finish line and just get it done. The way that we do goals, both setting them and going after them, is very different than what traditionally, at least in the Western world, that we're taught to go about them as. So the Goal Getters Grow and Get It Club is, for right now, totally free. It's going to be a club on LinkedIn as a group. Anyone can join. Every 4 weeks, I'll release new trainings. They won't be as lengthy as these trainings have been, because this is the first time that I'm introducing this system. I do go more in depth, but every 4 weeks, while you'll always have access to these more in-depth trainings, they will go more quickly and more succinctly. But it is that way of having a container of people who care about setting goals that actually matter to them and that actually move them in the direction they want to be living and growing in. And having a space to ask questions, get clarity, cheer one another on, get that support when things get hard or we get confused or we start to lose motivation and lose steam. So the Grow and Get It Goal Getters Club is a very special space. It's brand new. This is February 2025 that I'm recording this, and there are so many different ways that it can grow. But for now, my invitation is for you to go to this page in the workbook. Let me check the page number. Page 19. The link to the information page is at the bottom of that page. And this is where you can come and hang out and go for your goals with awesome people and be supported in going for your goals. So my invitation to you is to join us. This is a free community. There will be other tiers that are paid. So for example, if you want one-on-one coaching, or if you want me to go through all of your goals and really go through, maybe the SMART goal system and see, did I do this right? Does it feel like I'm on the right track? You can have that more personalized attention at these higher and paid tiers. But for now, the community, we're going to set goals together. We're going to hold each other accountable. We're going to cheer each other on when we win. We're going to support each other when we're down. And we're going to do it every 4 weeks. All of that is free. And I would love to see you there. LinkedIn is a tried and true place where we can all come together and we can stay focused on topic, right? And I would love to see you there. So if you're going through this particular video, the loyalty, piece of the process, and you're like, it's really hard for me to find someone to share my goals with. I don't really have that person that I really admire who I want to share my goals with. I don't have either the time or the knowledge or the people to set up my own support system. Come hang out. Come join the club. We would love to have you. I would love to see you there. So now the last page of this workbook is page 20 in the PDF. I'm going to read this piece to you because it's really why this is important to me. And I know you can read it on the workbook, but I also want you to hear me say it to you. Okay. So the bottom line, what you're really up to here, the most important thing about goal setting isn't about achieving your goals, which might sound kind of crazy. It's not about achieving the goals. What is it about? It's about feeling a sense of purpose, a sense of happiness and satisfaction in the process. The sense of achievement and elation once we reach the goal is fleeting. And any gold medaling Olympian will tell you this. They reach the pinnacle, and it's the question of now what? The research around the mental well-being of post-goal, whether the goal was achieved or not, whether they reached the goal and they achieved it and they hit the peak, or maybe they missed it, they didn't hit their goal. The mental well-being post-goal is definitive. It is in the pursuit of the goal where emotions like sustained happiness, fulfillment, curiosity, and motivation lay, not in the achievement of it. So I'll pause here for just a second. The point of all of this, it's not just how do I set goals, but we talk about motivation. We talk about becoming emotionally engaged and attached to the goals that you set and the ways that you go after those goals. Because this is what it's about. Every day you're alive, what are you working toward? What are you up to today? Not what goal are you smashing today? Because those are few and far between, right? And we don't want to hinge our happiness upon whether we've hit our latest goal or not. Because once we hit our goal, we'll celebrate, yes, we did it. Absolutely give credit where credit is due and celebrate and recognize. And now what? What's next? So what are you doing later this afternoon? What are you doing tomorrow? Some of the greatest, most highest performing athletes in the world, when they hit their achievement, when they get the gold medal, when they get the personal record, when they break the record, someone else's record, it's amazing in the moment. And then the research shows the crash afterwards. The crash in, now what do I do? What's next for me? Now all this stuff that I was filling my life with, working toward this pursuit, it is empty. I've already done the things. Now what do I do? And unless we have that sense of momentum, unless we realize that it never was about the goal in the first place, it's about living a life where we're up to something, as Mel Robbins refers to it, where we're living on purpose, we're living in a direction of constantly growing, and goals just happen to be kind of mile markers along the way and like a compass to steer how we show up every day. We cannot hinge our happiness, our sense of satisfaction, our sense of value, our sense of meaning, whether we are worthwhile and enough as a human being, upon whether we hit a goal or not. Because it's not about the goal. The goals are just mile markers. And that's what everyone doesn't know. So let me get back to this. This is why the way in which we approach goal setting matters. This process makes the process personal and achievable. It's designed to set you up for success in every possible way, and it will be continually tweaked where needed to optimize for your maximum success, both in achieving your desired goals and enjoying the journey along the way as well. Because the journey is literally the stuff of life. The goals just happen to be the things that we create, achieve, and experience occasionally along the way. right? So essentially, this is the culture, the purpose, the energy of the Grow and Get It Goal Getters Club. This is where we can all come together and recognize life for what it is, a journey of exploring, of growing, of getting curious, of celebrating and being in the moment. And that goals and goal setting and the pursuit of goals happens to be a really nice structure and framework to experience the stuff of life. So it's been an absolute joy helping you learn a little bit more about goal setting, a little bit more about going after goals in ways that light you up. And it's been really delightful to offer something that is outside of hustle culture, because there's so much just make it happen kind of rhetoric out there that we need an alternative, because we're not built to live like that, right? That's not sustainable. It can be fun for a really short amount of time, but really for the long haul, for a high quality life in the process, in the journey, I truly, truly stand by this being a much more substantial and fulfilling way of living and setting and getting goals. So head on over to the link that's in the workbook. I would love to have you in the LinkedIn group. And if this is something that might be interested to someone else who's looking to live life in a more purposeful and directed manner and a more fulfilled manner, share these trainings with them. Share the first video with them so they can start at the beginning, so they can download the workbook. You know the whole deal. By now, I hope this is not the first video of the series that you're watching. But if it is, cool. It's awesome you stuck around to the end of this particular training. Now go back and watch the one on dreaming, okay? I look forward to serving you in the Grow and Get It Goal Getters Club. This particular cycle of 4 weeks kicked off on February 3rd, 2005. And if it's after the 3rd that you're watching this, and it would be because today is the 5th, you're not behind. That's another thing that's a cool thing about this community is you're never behind. You just start where you're at, come join us and go along for the ride. And if there's something that we do that can be supportive and useful to you, jump on in. So you don't have to have specific, start and stop dates that are the same as ours. Wherever you're at is exactly where you're supposed to be. I look forward to seeing you in the Grow and Get It Goal Getters Club and helping you live the life that you would love to be living. So let's get going together, and I will see you in our group.